Those opposed to pesticides on lawns. A Valleyfield court has ruled that the city of Hudson has the right to ban outright the spraying of lawns within city limits. Herb Luft reports.
Many municipalities have restricted pesticide spraying, but Hudson was the first to ban it.
I agree with the use of pesticides where it's necessary, but I think on the lawn it's totally unnecessary. And there are some potential dangers, particularly in a town like Hudson, where we rely on an artesian well system for our water.
Hudson charged the ChemLawn and Spray Tech companies with breaking its anti-pesticide bylaw, which forbids spraying everywhere but on farms and golf courses. The lawn firms, backed by industry associations, called the ban abusive, discriminatory, and unreasonable. The pesticide companies sought a Superior Court judgment declaring the bylaws illegal, arguing that only the province, not municipalities, can regulate pesticides. But this afternoon, Judge James Kennedy ruled Hudson has the legal power to ban pesticides. An ecstatic town lawyer, Mary Jose Corriveau, immediately called the mayor with the news.
You're a very happy lawyer today.
Sûrement, oui.
Hudson Mayor Michael Elliott called it a great day, claiming the precedent-setting decision could have a widespread impact across Quebec and Canada.
We have at least 20 to 25 towns that want copies of our bylaw right as it is today, and are simply waiting for today's judgment. So I believe that this is good news for the people that are interested in protecting our environment a little bit.
But it's not over yet. Speaking for ChemLawn and Spray Tech, a horticultural federation also involved in the court action, immediately announced there would be an appeal.
We're not pesticides promoters. We promote the better landscaping for all the citizens. So that's why the industry is not endangered, but we want to have it clarified.
While municipalities for now have the right to ban pesticides, both Hudson and industry officials say the Quebec government must get on and adopt its long-promised Pesticide Management Act and the province-wide standards it would contain. Herb Luft, Pulse News, Hudson.
Now, Meryl Hammond is one of those leading the fight against lawn pesticide spraying. She joins us now live from Hudson. Ms. Hammond, congratulations. You must be very happy with today's decision.
We certainly are. No, congratulations to us personally, really to Hudson's Council, who took this incredible initiative of taking their responsibility seriously. The Cities and Towns Act clearly says that municipalities should protect public health, and this town has blazed a trail for the rest of us to follow. It's really exciting.
Now, the pesticide companies are saying that it will appeal this decision. Ms. Hammond, does your group have any plans to get involved with that appeal process?
I guess all I would say to somebody working in one of these companies is go home tonight and look deep into the eyes of your child or somebody else's child and think carefully what message has been sent today. The writing has been on the wall for a long time, and if people will just think about it, they'll realize there are other ways of doing business. There will always be people willing to pay for lawn care services. We're just not prepared to buy toxic services any longer. So let's get with it. It's the turnaround decade. Let's all turn together.
All right. Thank you very much for taking the time to speak to us today, Ms. Hammond.
Thanks, Mitz.
British Columbia's highest court has ruled in favor of adoptive parents in a bitter custody dispute with a baby boy's birth mother. Jennifer Mather has the story from Vancouver.
So anyway, we're just really excited. It started, whoa, it's really excited.
It's been a long legal tug of war for Jim and Faye Thireault of Victoria. They've been fighting for custody of 20-month-old David James Thireault ever since Tina Sawan, the toddler's birth mother, announced she wanted the child back. The 20-year-old Cree native from Alberta gave David James up for adoption shortly after he was born, but then changed her mind. Today, the BC Court of Appeal awarded the boy to the Thireaults, overruling an earlier BC Supreme Court decision last June that granted custody to the birth mother.
We had prayed two things. One, that the decision would be unanimous, and secondly, that we would win on several points. And we weren't thinking specifically for ourselves, but we were thinking that this would show give a very clear message to those prospective people that were wanting to adopt children, that in fact a child cannot be ripped out of their home because the parent, the birth mother, just changes her mind sometime down the road and decides she wants her child back.
Sawan was too upset by the decision to talk. Her lawyer was also shocked at the verdict.
And one of the big arguments the Court of Appeal uses is that she didn't bond with this child. She was denied the opportunity to bond by virtue of what happened in the matter getting to court and that long process. So she hasn't had the opportunity. She's in a catch-22. She can't prove that there's been a bond. She didn't get a chance to do that.
So basically what you're saying is that she is the victim.
She certainly, I think, is a victim.
We wanted to say...
Now only the Supreme Court of Canada can overturn today's ruling, but as for the chance of an appeal, the Tiro's lawyer doesn't think it's likely.
I would be surprised if there was an appeal. It's a fairly sound decision. It's going back to other cases that have been decided in this area. It's not setting any new precedent in that sense that could then be challenged in the Supreme Court of Canada.
The annual CFCF Blood Donor Clinic is still going strong right here at our studios at 405 Ogilvie Avenue. Anne Chatilla is at the clinic. It looks really busy there, Anne.
Actually, Mutsumi, it's very busy. Last year at this time, it wasn't such a great turnout, but we're doing really well today. Not well enough. We haven't reached our goal yet. In fact, we have a little bit of a lineup outside right now. We're trying to get more people in, but these people don't want to leave because they're having a good time. Joe Singerman's been coming up with all these great skill testing questions so they can win a lot of prizes, and everybody's really excited about it as they give blood. So far, we have 550 pints. Our goal is 700 pints. Right now, we're almost there, but not quite yet.
And on the serious side, though, is there very much concern about AIDS among the people you've spoken to?
That's a very good question, Mutsumi. In fact, there is some concern. So, in fact, we sent Joe Singerman out this afternoon to find out exactly what we should be concerned with.
Over the last 4 years, the number of people turning out to donate blood has decreased. 3 years ago, over 1,000 individuals donated blood here at CFCF 12, but numbers have decreased because people are frightened off by news reports about blood recipients contracting the HIV virus from blood transfusions. But the Red Cross says that individuals should make the distinction between donating blood and receiving blood.
The security of giving blood is 100% secure.
Needles aren't reused?
No, it's only once. It's all sealed, and you can see the nurse when she take your blood. She unsealed the needle, and
everything is sterilized.
Everything is sterilized. Everything is new, and everything is destroyed after.
After blood is collected here at CFCF and at blood banks across the city, it is screened for HIV, hepatitis, and other viruses. Years ago, there was no screening process for HIV. That no longer is the case. Blood collected today will save a life tomorrow.
The clinic is going on until 8 p.m. tonight. We need your help. I'll be back at the end of the show to give you an update on exactly how much we need. Back to you, Mitz.
Okay, thanks, and we'll speak to you later. Coming up, new hope for Clara Palacios and her son.
Waterbeds Unlimited has...
Palacios. The Salvadoran woman was scheduled to be deported Saturday along with her 10-month-old Canadian son. Today, she went to Ottawa to plead her case. It worked, at least for the moment. Brian Britt reports.
For Clara Palacios, the last in a long series of appeals was at the Parliament Hill office of Prime Minister Kim Campbell. The Prime Minister was not there, but Palacios and her supporters were told that the latest deportation order has been put off. Officials in the office of Public Security Minister Doug Lewis say the whole Palacios case will be reviewed. Palacios came to Canada in February 1991 from El Salvador. She was pregnant with her son Jimmy. She later discovered she was HIV positive. Her lawyer, Noel St. Pierre, argued before immigration officials here in Montreal that his client could not be sent back to El Salvador because that Central American country does not have facilities to adequately care for an HIV-infected person. Several times Palacios was ordered deported, but there was always one more appeal until what was thought to be the final expulsion order earlier this week. Officials in Ottawa say the Palacios case is now a priority, but they can't say exactly how long the review will take. Brian Britt, Pulse News.
A new poll just released in support for the federal Tories is up. The poll was taken last week. It gives the Tories 36% support among decided voters. That's just 4 points behind the Liberals. That gap was 10 points a month ago. Support for the other parties remained basically the same. And the dollar made a bit of a comeback today, making up what it lost yesterday. Analysts say today's positive trade numbers may have helped. Canada had a June trade surplus of almost $900 million. But the analysts warn the dollar is still vulnerable and could remain so at least until after the federal election. Now a look at the day's markets. The 6-day search for an escaped killer in West Quebec ended peacefully today. Robert Hamilton was captured by Quebec police as he traveled in the backseat of a car en route to Hull. Matt Cowan reports.
Meet Maurice Leclerc, the man responsible for putting convicted killer Robert Hamilton back in custody. The self-described hermit wouldn't speak English on camera, but he did say that Hamilton first approached him in his trailer. He says the fugitive looked tired and weary, but was friendly, and he gave him some food. Hamilton then asked to be driven to Wakefield. This is a street where the police finally apprehended Hamilton, about 10 kilometers north of Wakefield and about 3 kilometers east from where the search was underway. Hamilton is being held at the Quebec Provincial Police Station in Lowe, his clothes still in the car Leclerc had used to drive him.
Two of our investigators had spotted the car. They proceeded to the arrest of Mr. Hamilton without any problem at all. It was really smooth as far as I'm concerned because Mr. Hamilton was on the back seat and he was driven by another person. It seems so far like Mr. Hamilton had asked a ride to that person, and that man just by any way make sure that the police had been advised of what he was doing.
This ends one of the most extensive manhunts in the history of West Quebec and comes just after police downscaled their efforts to find the convict, prompting some to question whether Hamilton was still in West Quebec at all.
And we knew that sooner or later we would get something that might bring us, to Mr. Hamilton without any problem.
Matt Cowan, CJOH News, Lowe.
Some people in Chateauguay are steaming mad at City Hall about a problem with their drinking water. As Michael Mastarsian reports, it's not so much the problem they're mad at as the way it's been handled.
Water wasn't the only thing that was boiling in Chateauguay today. So were a lot of tempers. Yesterday afternoon, Pulse found out that the city of Chateauguay was advising residents to boil drinking water until Friday, when government testing on area water is finished. But it was when people were advised that has them steaming. Chateauguay Mayor Jean-Bosco Boursier says the city knew about the problem on Monday, but only began to inform smaller Chateauguay area newspapers and radio stations on Tuesday. It was Wednesday before larger Montreal area media organizations were informed. And when we asked people about the water problem last night, no one knew what we were talking about.
Non, j'étais pas au courant.
Vous l'apprenez, là?
Well, we weren't informed from the municipality anyway.
No, I didn't know that either.
Do you know why we have to boil the water?
Just like these people, last night's report on Pulse was the first time Sean McEnroe heard about Chateaugay's tainted tap water. Today, he was boiling over.
I'd like to know this stuff as soon as it happens. I mean, we drink a lot of water, and like I said, my daughter drinks water, so, I don't want to get sick, and I don't want her getting sick.
McEnroe's advice to City Hall?
Well, inform the bigger media stations, not the little local papers that take a week to get the information out.
Mayor Boursier admits the city's public relations department could have done a better job spreading the word and says next time things will be different.
Well, I think it's a very good experience, and now that we found out about it, I ordered that as soon as we have the minimum of doubt that everybody should be advised.
So if you live in Chateauguay and get thirsty between now and Friday, remember either to boil your water or get it out of a fancy store-bought bottle. Michael Mastarsian, Pulse News.
The MUCTC has launched a new project. It's called Telbus. Ralph Noseworthy tells us what that's all about.
It's a telephone information service. The MUCTC's 8,300 bus stop signs now have telephone numbers under each route number. Call that telephone number and a recording gives you up-to-date information.
With this system, they will be able to call and to know what's going on, and they will get the exact information.
Telbus officially goes into service August 30th, but it is in operation now, although the MUCTC president experienced some difficulty in testing it out.
Bienvenue au réseau Campbell. Le numéro de téléphone que vous avez composé n'est pas affiché.
Non, c'est pas le bon. The recorded messages are in French. English service will be available by the end of the year. Ralph Noseworthy, Pulse News.
In other news, a high-speed police chase this morning through Saint-Laurent and Villemard. It began when two men hijacked a 45-foot truck loaded with cigarettes. A police patrol spotted it about 20 minutes later, chased it to Villemard. Two men abandoned the truck there, tried to escape on foot, They were both captured by police. There was a serious car accident shortly before noon today in the city's Mile End district. A woman lost control of her car on Marconi Street just north of Jean Talon. The car ended up on its side and the woman was pinned in the wreckage. Emergency crews cut the roof of the car to free her. She was taken to Jean Talon Hospital. And part of that huge cache of hashish that was seized from a ship in Sorel last week is on its way to Montreal. Sûreté du Québec officers found almost 20 tons of the drug that is under the floor in the hull of a ship. They're still in the process of taking inventory, but today part of it was ready to be transported under heavy police guard to a warehouse in Montreal, where it will be kept while legal action proceeds against 10 suspects. The Red Cross has launched Project Helping Hand. It's Canada's effort to airlift 20 seriously wounded civilians out of Bosnia for medical treatment in Canadian hospitals. Holly Doan reports.
And what is your final destination?
Zagreb.
Beth Coe knows the war zone. She's driven relief trucks, negotiated with soldiers, and carried bodies off the street. Incredibly, this 49-year-old nurse from Ottawa is relieved to be heading back.
It's nice that countries in the world are responding, because there's a great need there. There really is.
Stories of civilian casualties have been carried by the international media since the war in Bosnia began. But it was the story of Irma, the little girl with meningitis rescued by Britain, that moved the world. Trouble is, there are thousands like her. 1,400 sick or injured people have asked to be rescued. Canada will take 20. The Red Cross says children will be given priority.
Any victim in a conflict is a victim and is in need of support. But if there are innocent partners in a conflict like the one in Bosnia or anywhere else in the world, it has to be the children.
While the Red Cross is relieved the international community is offering help, it's clear officials are worried that concern for the people of Bosnia will soon disappear.
I know I've heard many people say, well, we're tired of hearing about the war over there. Hearing about it and living it are two very different things, and I'm quite sure the people in former Yugoslavia are quite tired of trying to cope under the conditions that they're coping under.
The Red Cross says it can't predict how difficult this mission will be, how much it will cost, or even when the airlift will begin. But the Red Cross does expect all the patients brought out of Bosnia to be recovering in Canadian hospitals within a month. Holly Doan, CTV News, Ottawa.
Harold Faustin is a jazz musician from Haiti who's now living in Montreal, and as Ange Attila reports, he could become a name to contend with on the Canadian music scene.
My music is about life, about me, about your life, about, what's happening. This is always it. It's always something to say. It's more than the notes, like scales. That's more, I'm expressing what's going on.
Even before Harold Faustin's first CD was released in March, people were taking notice of this Montrealer. He's critically acclaimed for his unique instrumentals that combine the soulfulness of Caribbean sounds with African influences, bop, and modern jazz. Faustin's precise yet highly charged compositions make it hard to believe this 36-year-old talent first picked up a guitar in his 20s.
But I always loved music before, I always, being in touch with music.
Loving music and being able to play music, you must have been surprised at how good you were right off the bat.
I got that inside of me for a long time, I don't know how to explain it, really.
For somebody who isn't really a jazz lover, how do you describe your music to them?
It's fresh because there is improvisation on it.
Harold Faustin's sextet performs tonight until Sunday at L'Air du Temps in Old Montreal. It's worth a trip down to take in some music that will definitely seduce your senses. Anne Shatilla, Pulse News.
So the nice weather's not going to last.
No, as a matter of fact, we're talking hours right now. We've got some cloud moving in, we've got some showers and some thunder showers overnight tonight and for tomorrow.
We'll be right back.
This is Rob Folds. There are some nasty allegations the Senators paid players to tank games so they'd get the #1 choice.
another nice summer day, and the sun is still shining this evening, but we do have some cloud moving in overnight tonight, and it looks like some showers and thunder showers will be starting sometime overnight as well. Our high for the day today was 26 degrees. That is 1 degree above the average. The record high set back in 1960 was 32 degrees, and the record daytime low of 19 degrees was set back in 1949. Looking at some of the temperatures across the country, quite mild everywhere in the east, with a 22 in St. John's, 24 in Charlottetown, with a 20 in Halifax, another 24 in St. John, 24 as well in Quebec City, 26 in Ottawa, as well as in Montreal, and a bit warmer in Toronto, where they got up to 28 degrees. Into Winnipeg, we have 23, 24 in Regina, 23 again in Calgary, 26 today in Edmonton, and then one more 23 out west in Vancouver. Looking at our satellite shot, they've got nice clear skies just about everywhere out west, just a little bit up in the northwestern corner, picking up a little bit of cloud. But clear skies all the way through the prairies, a little bit of light cloud cover in southern Manitoba, and moving in a little bit into western Ontario. But the heavy cloud we pick up now in southern Ontario, it's moving in along southern Quebec as well, all the way along the St. Lawrence and moving up into the northern part of the province. Scattered cloud as well now for most of New England and through the Maritimes, and they look like they had a nice day today in Newfoundland with a mixture of sun and cloud. Further down the east coast, well, the cloud is just mainly in our region. It continues down across the Great Lakes and off into Wisconsin, around Chicago and Milwaukee. Down along the east coast, nice and clear, but very heavy, hot, muggy weather down in Florida. That's going to lead to thunder showers towards the end of the day. Right now, we're in the clear for this evening, but there is a chance of showers overnight tonight and perhaps even a thunder shower as well, and we certainly will see some rain for tomorrow. What we do have right now is a high pressure system gave us a nice day. Plenty of sunshine, but we do have some clouds slowly pushing into our region right ahead of this cold front here with a couple of low pressure systems. They'll be pushing through the Montreal area throughout the day tomorrow, so showers and or thunder showers, especially towards the end of the day, and that low pressure system along with this cold front will move out by tomorrow, and we'll have clearing. So the weekend is certainly not at a loss. High pressure system moves back in. We'll have plenty of sunshine on Saturday, but much cooler temperatures. We will have a few cloudy periods as well. More cloud, though, in the Laurentians. That cloud's going to stay around there, and cooler conditions as well. We'll have some breezes as well. The winds will start to pick up tonight, and it'll be quite breezy for tomorrow as well. On Sunday, another good day, plenty of sunshine and warmer temperatures, so summer is not over. So the official forecast for the Montreal region, we have partly cloudy skies for this evening. Overnight, cloud moving in. We have a chance of showers or thunder showers. The winds will start to pick up, and temperatures dropping down to 19 degrees. For tomorrow, looks like rain and thunder showers off and on throughout the day. The winds will really pick up by the afternoon. Still warm with a high of 25, but that won't last. On Saturday, we have clearing skies that really cools down to a high of only 22 degrees. The overnight lows and the highs for the city down to 19 up to 25 tomorrow. The same thing for Ottawa. 17 and 23 for the Laurentians, 18 and 25 for the townships, 17 and 23 for Quebec. Looking ahead through the weekend, the only really bad day is for Friday. We've got clearing skies on Saturday, a cool one, but then it starts to pick up again on Sunday. Looks like the winter for the weekend, and a mixture of sun and cloud on Monday, but still warm temperatures. Current readings in Dorval, we have 26, same thing in Saint-Hubert, 27 in Ottawa with a 24 in Saint-Jovite, 25 in Trois-Rivières. In Quebec, 24, same thing in Sherbrooke, 26 in Chicoutimi, 18 in Baie-Comeau. Sunrise tomorrow morning is at 6:02. It sets at 7:54. The winds are picking up, barometers falling. Humidity is 51%. At CFCF right now, we have sunshine, 26, and that is 79 degrees Fahrenheit. That's it. Sports is next.
A lot of controversy from Ottawa these days about the Senators.
Oh, you got it. And it's about payola, too. One of those things the Senators really like. Not the political kind now, but with the NHL club. There's word some of the Senators may have tanked the final game of the season to ensure the club won the right to take the first draft choice. Brian Smith has a story from Ottawa.
Sorry, they're not afraid to put two people right in the corner. This is the game in question. The Senators lost 4-2 to the Boston Bruins on the final night of the regular season, thereby clinching the right to draft first. As expected, they selected Alexandre Daigle, and later that night, Firestone allegedly told 4 reporters about a plan with players to ensure finishing last.
This particular discussion happened at Le Club Sportif. We'd all had a couple of beers. We were reminiscing about the year, and it was a very innocent conversation.
So you didn't imply in that conversation that you were telling the players to tank the last game?
Well, we never told our players to do anything but their best.
However, the 4 reporters who were present, all of whom refused to go on camera because the discussion was off the record, remember the incident differently. They were given the impression the fix was in.
No player ever suggested to me or to Coach Bonus or to any management that they would do anything less than their best.
Meanwhile, the players in question remain unnamed. The ones we talked to say the story is preposterous.
We were going as hard as we could any time we got on the ice.
To me, there's really no point even discussing it or answering your question because
there's really no truth in it.
We challenged our players from day one to work as hard as they could every night, and for the most part, they responded.
The question remains, if the conversation happened in June and was off the record, why did the story come out now? Firestone contends it's a publicity stunt to promote an upcoming book on the Senators by Ottawa Citizen columnist Roy McGregor, one of the 4 reporters present.
To me, that's simply an evasion of the issue. The issue is, if Firestone was deliberately encouraging his players to tank it, this is an issue that the NHL needs to address.
Whether the story is true or not, it would not have happened if the NHL didn't reward teams so richly for finishing last.
The Expos wrap up their stop in Chicago tonight as Jeff Facero faces Frank Castillo. The Expos might have to forget looking ahead at the Cards and the Phillies and start looking over their shoulder to the Cubs, who improved to .500 yesterday with a 2-0 victory.
Just a bad day all round. The Expos' top RBI man, Moises Alou, 2 on, 2 out, 4th inning, scoreless game, and he tries to pull Greg Hibbard and gets the double play for his time. End of inning. Top of the 9th, bases loaded, 2 out, Expos down 2-0. Alou strikes out on a bad pitch, and the Cubs win. Moises with an 0 for 4 and 5 runners stranded to think about overnight. To the pennant races, American League East, 11th inning, 6-6 tie in Cleveland. Paul Molitor up the middle, scores Olerud, who was 3 for 5 on the night. Jays win 7-6. Olerud's hitting .389 again. At Yankee Stadium, Dean Palmer of the Texas Rangers out of a 3 for 34 slump with his 23rd homer. Jim Abbott took the loss. Texas beats the Yankees 4-2. Danny Darwin on the mound for Boston against the White Sox. Some help at the right field fence from Andre Dawson. He had a perfect game in the 3rd inning, and first Scott Cooper at 3rd base, and then a diving Scott Fletcher at 2nd to keep it going. 8th inning, no-hitter going until Dan Pasqua hits it deep to center field. Billy Hatcher just couldn't get to it. End of no-hitter. On replay, turns out it wasn't that close after all. Darwin settles for a 1-hit, 5-0 shutout win. He threw only 95 pitches.
Again, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not a little disappointed about it, but, you know, it was fun while it lasted. The fans were behind me, and it was just a great feeling out there having everybody behind you after each pitch.
I thought I had a chance at it, and then when I jumped, it just, you know, was out of my reach, and it hit the wall, then it hit me on my nose, so I don't know. I wish I was like Hawk, about 6'3", you know, maybe I would have got it, I don't know.
Kansas City's Kevin Apier had a no-hitter for a while, too, last night. Then Chuck Knobloch of the Twins sent it under Greg Gagney's glove in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kansas City still won 5-2. The Jays by 2 over the Yankees. Boston 4.5 games back. Baltimore ended their 8-game losing streak last night, but they're still 6.5 behind. In the West, Chicago by 2.5 over the Royals. Texas 3.5. Seattle drops to 6.5 behind. You make the call. Bruce Fremming couldn't. Did Corey Snyder trap Fred McGriff's sinking liner or not? Fremming called McGriff out. Replay says he was safe. Fremming's call stands, and life can sure be unfair sometimes. McGriff came back and homered in the 6th inning, his 27th of the year. Atlanta won their 9th in a row, 3-2 in 12 innings. Can't gain any ground on these guys, even with 9 in a row. San Francisco's Barry Bonds with an RBI double to start it against the Pirates. 5th inning, Bonds again, a solo homer, his 37th of the year. 9th inning, Bonds needs a triple to hit for the cycle. He blew it. Home run, 2nd of the game, 38th of the year. Giants win again. They still lead by 6.5. And the play of the day, Ken Caminiti at 3rd for Houston on Aristide Estrada's shot. Spins and fires to 2nd to start the round-the-horn double play. And the Astros beat the Marlins 2-1.
This may be hard to believe, but the Canadians are less than a month away from training camp. For Coach Jacques Demers, life could not be better, despite the fact he hasn't had much time to himself since the Canadians won the Stanley Cup. Demers says it comes with the territory. He's not going to complain. Randy Tiemann caught up with the coach down at the Forum.
A Stanley Cup championship in his rookie season as head coach and a multi-year, multi-million-dollar contract. Life is very good for Jacques Demers.
I never thought a coach could make that kind of money. I have absolutely no intention of changing. I was talking the other day to people, and I said the reason why I didn't want to talk about my salary, because there's enough people in Montreal struggling as it is. The economy is tough, and I don't want to start rubbing it in anybody's face the salary as Jacques Demers is making. I did not create the market. The market was created by 4 other coaches, including Mike Keenan, Scotty Bowman, and I took advantage of it like anyone else.
The Canadians have won 24 cups, but for some reason, this one is special to the people.
Is it because we weren't expected to win it? Is it because we came from so far? We had a terrible month of March, and when we went right through 16-4 in the playoffs, is it because all those overtime wins, the excitement we created, the fun we had with the fans, and even Quebec Nordiques fans have congratulated me because they said it was done with class. It's important.
Demers also has a new office, and for now, there's only one picture on the walls.
That picture means a lot. I see Matthew Schneider there, who got married this summer, Brian Bellows, who got married this summer. It's a great group of guys I had. Every one of them is smiling. There was tears. Denis Savard, tears. The coach a little bit in tears. It was a special way of winning. Gary Lehman, who came from nowhere. Every one of them had learned a tremendous experience.
Don't expect the Canadians to make many changes in personnel or attitude. Demers says team chemistry is everything.
It wasn't the team with the most talent to win. Believe me, we have some quality talent. It wasn't the team with the most talent, but quality of athletes and desire and courage, I think, was the best in the league.
Randy Tiemann, Pulse Sports.
And as an employee looking for tenure, happy birthday to our benevolent leader, Ron Rush.
That's right. Happy birthday, Ron. We'll be right back.
In a universe of trendy new beers with insignificantly subtle differences that only depress your taste buds, there lurks a threat. A bold taste of 50. Full-bodied real beer. And that's great, because many beer drinkers like beer that actually tastes like beer. 50. Not a timid taste.
Pre-season savings are better at the Bay.
Save 25% on all jockey underfashions during the Bay's semi-annual jockey sale, including men's briefs, socks, t-shirts and boxer shorts, and ladies' cotton, jockey silks, and cotton lycra spandex fashions. Plus, save 25% on all jockey for her hosiery.
It all adds up to a better price. I guarantee it.
Safari. Come for a full day of discoveries.
Get a second smoked meat sandwich or a second spaghetti smoked meat for only a nickel. Nichols, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. It's the only place to be.
My son has a gift. He is better at this than I have ever been at anything in my life.
In a world that thrives on competition, a challenge awaits.
Jack.
CFCF 12 and Canada Trust can help your child meet that challenge with a $2,500 scholarship bond. Just write to CFCF 12 at this address and in 50 words or less, tell us how your child would use this $2,500 scholarship to further his or her education. CFCF 12 and Canada Trust, investing in the future.
On the next Entertainment Tonight.
It's just a problem that was inevitable that was coming.
All we want to do is be treated equal. America's hottest country music stars are in an uproar, and E.T. has the lowdown. Plus,
being on two wheels is a great way to see the countryside.
E.T. hitches an exciting ride with motorcycle mama Mary Hart to South Dakota for a big blast of a treat at the Crazy Horse Monument.
Fire in the hole.
All on the next Entertainment Tonight.
Entertainment Tonight at 7, following Pulse.
Hello, I'm Susan Ormiston. Tomorrow on Canada AM, the life and times of one of Canada's most popular folk singers, Stan Rogers. His career was cut short 10 years ago when he died in an airplane crash. We'll talk about his music tomorrow.
Israeli forces and pro-Iranian guerrillas pounded each other's positions in South Lebanon today. The guerrillas staged 2 attacks on Israeli forces, killing 8 soldiers and wounding 4. Israeli warplanes bombed 3 guerrilla positions in the Bekaa Valley.
The Hezbollah ambush of the Israeli Army foot patrol at dawn wounded 2 soldiers and killed 7. The guerrillas attacked them with bombs, machine gun fire and rocket-propelled grenades. Israeli warplanes retaliated quickly, hitting Hezbollah targets around the ancient city of Baalbek in East Lebanon's Bekaa Valley. The area contains important supply bases for the Hezbollah guerrillas operating in South Lebanon. A second Hezbollah ambush after sundown killed another Israeli soldier and wounded 1. The 8 dead made it the worst single-day death toll for Israeli troops in 5 years. A similar scenario last month escalated into a week-long Israeli offensive in southern Lebanon. A few hours before the Hezbollah attack, Israeli soldiers opened fire on homes in the occupied Gaza Strip, where alleged terrorists were thought to be hiding. The army said it was seeking wanted members of the Islamic Hamas movement. A new round of hostilities came 12 days before the Arab-Israeli peace talks are due to resume in Washington. Israel's government said it remains committed to the peace process and to retaliation when necessary.
The Bosnian peace talks in Geneva are in serious trouble. The continued presence of Serb troops on Mount Igman is one stumbling block, but a more serious problem is the drawing of maps which would force the country's Muslims to give much of their territory to Serb and Croat forces.
Today the power brokers returned to Geneva. The presidents of Serbia and Croatia invited so they can twist the arms of their Bosnian surrogates a little for the common good. Though Franjo Tudjman of Croatia wasn't uttering words of peace when asked about the tragedy of Mostar.
Because the Muslims want what is not rightfully theirs.
In the delegation hotels, they were preparing the maps which were due to be the main item on the agenda today. Maps on which, according to insiders, the conference had got stuck.
We've had an agreement on Sarajevo, which is the most important thing we've got yet running on us. We've got a very real problem on the map, and we'll try and see if we can resolve it today and tomorrow.
But Bosnia's President Izetbegovic seized the initiative, turning the attention back to Mostar and Sarajevo, confirming that the UN interim plan for the Bosnian capital was far from settled.
First, I have to say that I learned just now, before that, Serbian soldiers are still on the Igman mountain. More than 100 of them. I will protest against that and maybe interrupt the negotiations.
The question no one can answer is whether President Milosevic really has come to the talks to persuade the Bosnian Serb leader Radovan Karadzic to compromise. Or whether, in the meetings around the claustrophobic negotiating table, the Serb president and his Croatian counterpart are just piling the pressure on the lonely figure of Alija Izetbegovic to sign and to be done with it. The Bosnian Serbs and Croats are mounting a joint campaign against the Muslim leader. President Izetbegovic called a news conference to press home his campaign for the relief of the people of Sarajevo and Mostar, but it did show a certain world weariness. And the talks have virtually become the test of one man's endurance.
The continuing Serb presence in Sarajevo is only one of the things causing problems in Geneva. Bitter fighting between Muslims and Croats in the old Bosnian city of Mostar is intensifying. Today, an aid convoy made it into the battle-scarred city, but that was no consolation to the city's Muslim defenders.
Only a few hundred yards from this UN encampment, a small band of Serb fighters is holding out, despite a promise to leave the mountain. In defiance of last weekend's agreement, about 100 troops have refused to pull out. On the slopes that once played host to the Winter Olympics, the Bosnian Serbs continue to test the patience of the United Nations. Away from Sarajevo, there were more clashes between Croat and Muslim forces. Along with the blows, the two sides traded accusations of atrocities. Croatian TV aired pictures which it said showed the victims of a Muslim attack. Sarajevo radio said thousands of Muslim civilians were being held in Croat detention camps. The bitterest fighting was outside Mostar, once Bosnia's second city with a diverse population of more than 100,000. Its elegant facade has been ravaged by war. A UN aid convoy, the first since June, reportedly reached the Croat side of the city, but the Muslim quarter remains without aid.
The population here lacks basic food and medical supplies. The ancient city has become Bosnia's latest humanitarian disaster.
Rebels in Nicaragua have taken government officials hostage, demanding the resignation of the head of the Nicaraguan army and that of a top presidential aide. There are reports that among the hostages are Sandinistan legislators and soldiers and members of a National Assembly Human Rights Commission. There is no word yet on how many hostages were taken. The guerrillas are former Contra rebels who fought against the former Sandinista government in the 1980s. It's been 2 years since Russian hardliners first launched a plot to kidnap and depose then-Soviet President Mikhail Gorbachev. Now, many of those same hardliners are causing problems for Boris Yeltsin. As we hear in this report from David Ensor, at the moment, those problems revolve around election plans.
Remembering 2 years ago, when, as Boris Yeltsin put it, the entire world held its breath, Russia's president defended his policy since then, while conceding that times are hard. At a news conference, Yeltsin said September will be a hot month as he attempts to force new elections on a recalcitrant parliament packed with ex-communists, opponents of his free market reforms.
We are going to have free elections, so I hope for a businesslike and intelligent parliament. That would be good for Russia and for reform.
From the ordinary Russian's point of view, the last 2 turbulent years have been a mixed blessing. There's more food in the stores, but much of it is foreign and too expensive. A few people are getting rich, most are much poorer. There is no longer fear of the communists and their secret police, but there is a new kind of fear. Violent crime is escalating rapidly. There is a sense of unfinished business here, with Russians wondering what the next political drama will be. Yeltsin says there will be no troops used as he tries to force his enemies to accept elections they will probably lose. He will not say how he plans to do it. The Russian people are weary and uneasy. David Ensor, ABC News, Moscow.
Doctors at the Children's Hospital in Philadelphia are preparing to separate 7-week-old Siamese twins who share the same heart. They say it's certain one of the infants will die, but the other has a slim chance for survival. Dawn Frantangelo reports.
Amy and Angela Lakeberg are joined at the chest. They share one heart, which is defective, and one liver. If they are not separated, both will die. With separation, only one will survive, but with very little odds.
It doesn't work out in 99% of the cases, but we usually intervene because of the prospect of that 1%.
The conjoined twins were admitted to Philadelphia's Children's Hospital after a neonatal medical team in Chicago decided not to separate them.
I'll be very honest with you. We recommended to the family that we would suggest that we would suggest discontinuing life support.
That, however, is not an option the twins' mother is ready to accept.
They just grab hold of my finger real tight, and they don't want me to leave. If I pull away, they hold on tighter, telling me to stay there.
No twins joined at the heart have ever survived. Dawn Frantangelo, NBC News.
France has been invaded many times, and every time it's forced the enemy back. But now France is facing a new and ferocious invader, a horde of flesh-eating turtles.
It sounds like the latest Hollywood blockbuster, Invasion of the Flesh-Eating Turtles. Hundreds of thousands of the carnivorous reptiles were brought to France last year from America and Canada for French children overcome by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle movie craze. They started off as adorable babies. Then they got bigger and bigger. Until finally they became aggressive adults with ferocious appetites. Many of the turtles were abandoned in rivers in the south of France, an ideal climate for their breeding. French authorities have asked zoos to take charge of the monsters to avoid a total turtle takeover.
And we'll be back with a last look at the CFCF blood donor clinic when we come back.
Okay, everyone, merengue. In 1, 2, yes. Out 1, 2, epa. Left 1, 2. Get it right. 1, 2, close. Check 1, 2. Ay, caramba.
Kaplan Duval goes one more. It's Kaplan Duval's famous summer clearance sale this week, featuring these incredible savings. Save 50% on every single Noritake pattern. Preludio Crystal from Tuscany, now special clearance price of 4 for $14.99. Save 30 to 50% on our selection of famous Waterford Crystal. This 4-piece silver-plated coffee set is only $39.99, and much, much more. Act now as merchandise is limited. Kaplan Duval, Plaza Cotonage, and Cavendish Mall.
Hey, Dad, want some cereal?
Not now, thanks. I've got to finish this song.
'Cause baby, you're so... honey. Honey, you're so... nutty. 'Cause honey, you're so nutty.
Hey, the taste of honey and nuts.
We're gonna take your tummy, bring the taste of nuts and honey. It's a honey oven, oh.
It's Honey Nut Cheerios.
It's here, Chrysler's #1 summer clearance with deals too hot to pass by. Plymouth Sundancer Dodge Shadow for only $99.99. The Great Little Colt for only $88.88. Dodge Spirit or Plymouth Acclaim for only $13,663. And the world leader, the Magic Wagon, with special clearance rebates on all models, plus financing or rebates on thousands of 93 cars and trucks. Catch them while you still can during Chrysler's #1 summer clearance at your local dealer now.
There is an art to making fresh sandwiches. And there is an art to keeping them fresh. Ziploc sandwich bags. Ziploc announces a better way to capture freshness. Our Gripper Zippers special teeth lock together, sealing in freshness first time, every time. The Gripper Zipper, now on all Ziploc bags.
Monday, August 23rd, 7 p.m., Lviv, Munich. CFCF 12 and RDA Productions invite you to celebrate the best in homegrown country music. In concert for one night only, the Suffering Grits and Roxanne Charette, both winning groups of the television series Quebec Country 93. This special country evening will also feature the launch of the Best of Quebec Country 93, available on cassette or CD. For tickets, call Lviv, Munich at 288-8011.
1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2.
Just about an hour left to go in the CFCF Blood Donor Clinic. Anne Chatilla has been down there all afternoon. Anne, how's it going down there in the studios?
It's going very well, Mutsumi. We just reached 600 pints. Our goal here at the Red Cross Clinic is 700, and there is 1 hour left to go. I just spoke to some Red Cross officials, and they told me, please come down and help because it's for such a good cause. Red Cross says their limit is at their borderline right now. That means if we have a couple of transplants, a couple of big accidents, we're in big trouble. So please head down 405 Ogilvie Avenue, entrance F, and bring a picture ID. We need your help. Come down. Mitz?
Thank you very much, Anne. That's Pulse for Thursday. Have a good evening.